Hello and welcome to this new course of geotechnical engineering, that is soil mechanics. Okay, so let's take a look on soil mechanics course. First we need to understand what is soil mechanics. Soil mechanics is also called geotechnics or geomechanics, is the application of engineering mechanics that we have already learned in the structural engineering. Okay, application of engineering mechanics to the solution of problem dealing with soil. Okay, we deal soil as a two things. The first is actually as a foundation, where we use soil as a foundation. Here soil has been used as a foundation, and second is soil has been used as a construction material. Okay, there is a difference between soil as a foundation, where the soil is already present, and we use here the concrete casting, okay, to prepare the column or footing. Okay, so here we use soil as a foundation. On the other hand, here soil has been used as a construction material, where we soil transport from one place to another place. Okay, now how we are going to differentiate it, like say this material soil from the other material that we have already learned about, the concrete, steel or aluminum or wood. Okay, so to understand it, we have to look it from the view of Carl Terzaghi. Carl Terzaghi is actually known as father of modern soil mechanics, or we can say the father of soil mechanics, because he is the person who used the first time the word soil mechanics. Even he was mechanical engineering. One of the main thing about the Carl Terzaghi, actually having being a field of mechanical engineering, he became father of modern soil mechanics because of his talent and his interest in the geology. Okay, his interest in the geology. Or on the other hand, we can say that the concept that he learned from the mechanical engineering also implement in the civil engineering also. For example, later on in the soil mechanics, we will learn one of the chapter about the consolidation, where we will learn the time rate consolidation of saturated soil, which he adapt from the mechanical heat flow theory from the thermodynamics. Okay, so somehow the concept that he learned from the field of mechanical engineering, he implement here also, but because of the interest in the geology, he become father of soil mechanics. So as per definition of Carl Terzaghi, he said that because soil is a very complex material, the first thing we have to do, actually we have to simplify it and just derive some theoretical concept. Okay, the first thing is the theory of behavior of soil under stress, under the load. Okay, based on radically simplifying assumption. When I say radically simplifying assumption, let's understand it from the perspective of real soil. This is, let's say, real soil. Okay, here these are the soil solid, these are soil solid, and there is an empty space between this soil solid. Okay, so in this empty space either may be air or it may be water. Okay, so this is a very complex material, because if you compare from the, let's say, steel or other material, let's say aluminum, in case of steel or aluminum, where the solid particles are very strongly bonded, there is no spacing between them. Okay, on the other hand, we can say soil is a discrete particle material, because the particles are not bonded as a like soil solid. Okay, like solid material that we have learned, neither they are free completely like a fluid, water. Okay, so that's why we use sometimes it as a discrete mechanics also. We use sometimes particulate mechanics, sorry, not discrete, particulate mechanics, because of particle attraction between the force. But as per Carl Terzaghi, we have to make a lot of assumption, simplifying assumption, so that we can derive some theoretical formula. So this is the real soil. Then we make some idealization, which we learn later on in the upcoming chapter, like the solid, water and air, because solid, soil solid, this is soil solid. Okay, and water is present in the empty space and air is also there. So we call it three-phase diagram. Later on there is a complete chapter on this simplifying assumption, three-phase diagram, where we derive the theoretical formula. Okay, so the first step is we need to derive some theoretical concept under the load of stress because of the based on the radically simplifying assumption. Okay, next thing, that because this is idealized soil, this is not real soil, so what we have to do, actually we need to derive the real result also, because we derive some formulas based on assumption, but we need to derive some the real result also. Okay, so this is the real soil and this is the idealized soil. So the concept we learn in this step from the idealized soil. So next thing we need to do, the investigation of physical properties of real soil. Physical properties of real soil. Okay, either you perform the experiment in the lab, let's say you have a soil sample and you do a lot of experiment in the lab, or you can perform some experiment later on we will learn in this subject on the field also. Okay. So here we derive some formulas that we cannot derive using the theoretical concept. So we call them empirical formulas. Okay. So in the first step we have some theoretical knowledge. Okay. And in the second step we have a knowledge from the experiment. So what we have to do next, actually the next is the application of our theoretical knowledge from the step 1 and empirical knowledge from the step 2 of the subject to the practical problem. Okay. The knowledge that we learn from the theory and experiment of this subject, we need to implement it to the practical problem, and we will learn about how we will implement all the concepts of the soil mechanics on the next subject called foundation engineering, where we will learn about the design of like a pile foundation, raft foundation, okay, or like a boundary wall or earth retaining structure. So this is the main thing that we are going to learn in this complete subject of soil mechanics. Okay. So one of the main thing about the Carl Terzaghi, actually he verified all his theory, okay, by experiment. The concept that he derived from this theoretical based on assumption, he actually verified them through the experiment also. Okay. Now let's come to the what are the some prerequisites this course. Okay. As I told you actually here that we need to understand some theoretical behavior under the stress, or we can say under the loads. Okay. So I can say here that main thing in the soil mechanics is the study of response of soil to the loads. Okay. To understand the response of the soil or any other material, okay, under the loads. Okay. So first thing we need in the case of soil, we deal with first action of forces on soil. Okay. Action of forces, or we can say action of loads on soil. Because of the complexity of this material, water is also there. Then we need to understand flow of water in the soil. Okay. So the prerequisite that how we will relate the concept, because we have already learned about the force in the engineering, structural engineering. Okay. So the concept that we are going to use here are from first mechanical engineering, engineering mechanics, okay, and then strength of material shown. Okay. So from the engineering mechanics, if you remember, we have a two part of engineering mechanics, statics and dynamics. Okay. So the mostly concept of statics that we have already learned going to be used here. Okay. Like the concept of equation of equilibrium. Okay. And some Newton's law, fundamentals of Newton's law that we have already learned. And from the strength of material, we have already learned the concept of stress and strain. Okay. And concept of modulus of elasticity and Mohr law. Okay. Mohr circle. So these are the concept fundamental that we have already learned. We are going to use here. And next is the flow of water. For that purpose, we have to use other fluid mechanics. The concept of fluid mechanics, for example, Darcy law from the fluid mechanics, and some basic fundamentals from hydraulics also. Okay. On the other hand, let me tell you one thing, that the concept that we learn in the engineering mechanics has been used on the material like say steel or like say concrete. But here, if we implement complete engineering mechanics as we learn, it will give us a partial solution. It will not give us complete solution. So for that purpose, actually in case of soil mechanics, we have to use some experimental knowledge and we have to make some approximation also. This is a prerequisite. You need to learn from the field and you have to use your experience and you have to use the concept of like say approximation. Why actually? Because other material that we manufacture in the factories or on the site, soil is already there. Okay. We just need to collect the sample and have to check its strength and different types of physical properties. Okay. So I will say here that apart from using the fundamental concept, experience and approximation is actually a very successful way to use in the soil mechanics. Okay. Another important concept here is actually, I have told a lot of students that the fundamentals that we learn in structural engineering or geotechnical engineering or water resource engineering is actually same. Problem is here because in academic the subject has been come from semester to semester. That's why there is a common link between all these concepts, but it's completely lost because student cannot relate the concept that because the subject you learn in the one semester, you completely forget about that. Okay, I don't know what is the relation with this fundamentals in geotechnical engineering. Okay, But if, let's say, for example, preparing for competitive examination, the concept that you have learned in the geotechnical engineering, because you have to cover all the subject in minimum time, so somehow you can understand, oh, there is a concept that I am already used in the engineering mechanics, is the same as been using in the like say fluid mechanics or in the called geotechnical engineering. Okay, so these are the some prerequisites. Okay, so for this subject, even I will cover these fundamentals also. We will not go in depth on all the topic of this subject, but I will give you some introductory concept of these basic fundamentals that we are going to use in this subject. Okay, now let's come to the next curriculum. What are the some, let's say, chapter that we are going to cover? The first chapter will be the introduction to soil mechanics. Okay, the basic fundamentals, where we will learn the types of soil and the, like say, particle size distribution of the soil. This thing will be learned in the very first chapter with a very introductory part of geology also. Then next will be the site exploration. Even this chapter has been not covered some of by books or lecturer in the university, the site exploration, but I will consider that this is really important chapter, because first thing is, as an engineer you need to understand how to collect the sample from the site. So I will, or how to perform experiment on the site also. So I will give you some introductory detail, but we will learn about in depth about this chapter in the next subject called foundation engineering. Okay, then will be the phase diagram, plasticity and soil classification. As I show you that we make a radically simplifying assumption that we convert complex soil into the water, okay, air, water and solid. Okay, so we just make a lot of assumption and then derive the formula. So we will learn about them here. Then plasticity is actually the property of soil. Okay, then we will go for the soil classification. Even you learn about the classification of other material also, like say in case of concrete, it is based on the strength, M20 concrete, M25 concrete, but here because of the complex composition of the soil, like say sand is there, silt is there, clay is also there. So we will learn about the classification of the soil. Okay, then we will go the compaction of soil. What I mean by compaction is actually soil, when soil has been used as a construction material. So when we transport soil one space to another space, there might be chances that empty spaces has been increased or might be a void has been increased. So we actually need to compact the soil. Let's say we have to improve density so that it becomes stronger. The concept will come under this chapter is compaction. First we will learn about how we will improve the quality of the soil in the lab, and we will learn that how much money, or we can say how much resources has been required to compact this soil on the field. Okay, the same way we will learn that what type of the equipment has been required to compact the soil that we have derived the relation or derived this property from the lab. Okay, next will be the groundwater. The concept of groundwater, actually, because water is present in the soil here, but the impact of groundwater is completely different. Groundwater table, for example, soil is same here and same soil has been present, let's say, at a distance of 1 kilometer, but water table is completely different at this place and at the 1 kilometer distance, then the soil behavior will be different. Okay, so here in this chapter I will give you the fundamentals of groundwater, where we will learn the very first chapter, sometimes we call it permeability of soil. Okay, then next will be the groundwater, where we will learn the fundamentals that we have learned here has been implemented in this chapter. I can say that the permeability, or we can say the fundamentals that we use for the groundwater, is known as one-dimensional flow of water. Okay, then later on we will learn the concept of two-dimensional flow of water, which is also known as seepage. Somehow if you look in your book, you will see that there will be a chapter of named seepage, where we will learn the concept of water in two-dimensional flow. Okay, and similarly then we will go to the next chapter, stress strain, that we learn the concept the same that we learn in the subject structural engineering or fluid mechanics. There is an important concept here called effective stress. Okay, this is very different property, we will learn in this chapter in detail. Okay, and distribution of the stress because of the load of the structure. Like the structure has been completed, then there will be a distribution of the load under the below the surface level, and we will learn how this distribution has been impact this soil. Okay, then come to the next, the soil settlement. Look, water is present in the soil. Okay, here we mechanically use the equipment to compact the soil to extract the water. Okay, this air, to extract the air at the optimum water content. But here what happened, let's say structure has been completed, there might be chances that water also start let's say expelled from the soil. Okay, so it might take some time, or duration. So in this case, once water start expelling from the soil, then there might be chances of settlement in the soil. So there are some limitations that we will learn how we will up to what point we can accept the soil settlement. Okay, so for that purpose we will look the different types of code from the different countries. Okay, and finally will be the shear strength of soil. Okay, this is one of the main property. Even I can say the strength of the soil, but one of the main important about the soil is its shear strength. So we will cover how we will define the shear strength, the basic fundamental, and how to figure out and how to determine the shear strength of soil in the lab or on the field. Okay, so there are some different types of experiment to perform in the lab or on the field. Okay, next, the textbook. Okay, even I will try to explain as much as possible all the concepts, but still if you need some more detailed knowledge or you just want to cover some more practical question, then you can have some access to the books. One is called Basic and Applied Soil Mechanics by Gopal Ranjan and A.S.R. Rao. Okay, and one more book is actually Geotechnical Engineering by V.N.S. Murthy. Okay, this is also a very good book. And one of my favorite is actually Soil Mechanics by Munu Buddhi. Okay, the concept is same almost in all the books, but this book is very structured way, so that you can learn the concept to concept very easily. Okay, so overall I will hope that from the next lecture we will start very first chapter, the introduction to soil mechanics. So I hope that the fundamental principle and guidance provided in this course will serve as a foundation for the lifelong learning in geotechnical engineering. On the other hand, because I am making this course, preparing the PPT, just trying to make it that you can learn as much as possible in the minimum time, so that I just try to make a lot of time to prepare the content, so that I can deliver the content in the minimum time. I don't want to waste the time here just to write everything here. Just I was trying to explain you as much as possible in the simple manner that you can cover maximum in content in the minimum time. Okay, so it might happen that I make a mistake, so I welcome any comment or suggestion or concern or correction you may have that can help me to improve this course. Okay, so from the next lecture we will start from the very first chapter, Introduction to Soil Mechanics. Okay, thank you very much.